Hey everybody, Dev here. Today's video is all about Town Hall 11 and getting the most out of your Queen, Warden and your bowlers in order to destroy our arch nemesis ring bases. Yes, ring bases, evil things that they are. Right, so before we do, I just want to give a shout out to Nemo from New Zealand Gold and South Auckland. Currently in Z Fighters. He came by the other day and showed us some things, and he really did change me from about 60% up to a 3-star on a Town Hall 11 on ring bases, which is fantastic. Right, so I'm just going to jump in and I'm going to start commenting on the way as I go. I've used a fairly standard army throughout and a fairly standard technique too. So here's a ring base. Now, it's a low-level ring base, okay, Town Hall, what's emerging from Town Hall 10 into Town Hall 11. We've got the Infernos up, or that one's up, okay, and that one is an eagle, of course, the big toys that you get, okay, and in multi, so that's going to cause him some issues later on. I'll show you why. Now, the thing about ring bases like this is a fairly common type, is that they're clearly designed to make you walk your way around rather than going into the core. All right, that's the main strength behind a ring base, and that really does suck. So what you've got to do, as always, you don't attack on a corner, because if you attack on a corner, you're going to funnel one way, you're going to funnel the other way, and life's going to be difficult. What you want to do is you want to attack on an edge, sort of in this area here, through into here, into the dark. This is what I wanted to do anyway. All right, must be a bit of a Tesla farm in there. So if you do that and start attacking on this part here, before you get to there, see how the buildings are back from the wall? Okay, it means the bowlers are going to look over here and go, oh, this one's closer than that one, all right, because I can do Pythagoras, and it's going to end up going left and going right, and okay, I actually said left, this is right, and then whatever, all right, but if you get your jumps down, all right, and you've cleared the buildings here on this side and this side, then you're good to go. Now, this is the key. How do you clear both sides at once? Previously, I'd used a screen of wizards and giants in order to take out a corner, and then queen walk a corner. What Nemo showed me was perhaps maybe just getting your queen walk started going one particular direction and make her do all the work, and then have just a couple of extra troops in order to take out the rest of it. So that is the key. The key is going to be setting your queen walk. And the starting off, I'm going to kick off in this corner. I've used a little baby dragon. Now this Town Hall 10 defense isn't going to do much to my baby dragon initially. It is going to end up taking out that building there. Plus I've got one giant and a few wizards. All right. So in order to set my queen walk, I really wanted to make sure I had all of those outlying trash buildings done. Now that black mine being detonated by the baby dragon was unfortunate for her, but good for me, because it meant my healers were pretty much clear from there. You can expect one bomb on each of those corners, I think, in this particular type of base. It's really, really important you keep your queen alive, which is why I popped the ability there. A bunch of loons like that really gives my queen the heebie-jeebies, all right? Now, with the warden and support, all right, you can see the queen has done a good job, and now she is going to, if you follow the path, she is going to take out that one, take out the CC and this, and then peel off and go for the hut. So again, worth keeping her alive, and there we go. Now she is well and truly committed to walking down that flank. Once you see that happening, try and cut it off on the other edge. Now, I've used a P.E.K.K.A. Now, just pause here. P.E.K.K.A. is an interesting choice rather than a second golem. I've got one golem in CC, but I'm taking this P.E.K.K.A. here. Comparable hit points, not exactly the same, a bit less, but comparable. And it's got a heck of a lot more of an attack on it. So, using that as the meat shield, as a second king, perhaps, is a better way to look at the max P.E.K.K.A. All right? You'll also note the time taken. I've used an awful lot of time and a second rage here and the warden ability just to keep the queen alive. But the results of taking the time, setting up your phases, right, we're now into the second phase, we've got the queen walk going, is really important. Once you've got that done, look at that P.E.K.K.A. He's just doing a great job there, smashing some buildings, drawing fire from the eagle artillery and all sorts of goodness. All right. Now, once that wizard's down, you can see the queen walk and the rest of the troops have done a fantastic job. There is now no choice, as my jumps go down, for my bowlers to make their way into the core. So Golem goes, King goes, and look where the healers are. Ooh, so by starting my attack exactly where the healers are, I get full value for the healers. They're now going to go and support the bowlers and the witches at the back end. I've still got a freeze up, which I've used in order to take out those buildings at the second. I missed on the eagle, but it didn't really matter because the bowlers were going to get there. Now, my bowlers didn't all go into the town hall, but the king did. That's fine. All right, by this time, you've picked up enough percentage, you can at least get your star. And now it's a matter of getting to 70% and getting the full bonus. All right, so that queen walk, and now the bowlers and witches wrapping round. You can clearly see if Supercell had given us perhaps maybe 3 minutes 30 to attack rather than just 3 minutes, that I would have taken out the entirety of this base. Well, actually, that's a bit of a lie on this particular attack, but other attacks you'll see that if I had a bit more time, I would have been able to pick up the triple. So the key for me, my homework, is to work on my timing. All right, but getting that queen walk set is really, really important in these attacks. All right, and yeah, I'm picking up some pink, I'm picking up some gold, but whoop there, you've seen my storages, I'm at max, and I've got all my walls done, and I've got all my troops done and everything, so I'm really just looking to max my heroes. All right, so we'll just go to the end. Some skeletons and a golem. Okay, maybe with that golem I could have done with another 3 minutes, perhaps, maybe. But you get the idea. So that one was a bit of a long-winded explanation, and the next two should be a bit more clear to see what's going on. So, look at this ring base. Similar in design with the expos and the core. We've got an Inferno on single here and a Queen. So this one's a little bit trickier and the defenses are a bit higher. Alright, so in this particular case, my goal is the dark. And these bases are set so that the dark and the eagle are at separate places, okay, forcing you to choose. Do not fear the eagle artillery. If you get this technique correct, you do not need to fear the eagle artillery. What I wanted to do was set my walks so that I would get the queen either walking down this particular edge or this particular edge, and I would make my decision from there. Because the base is symmetrical, it doesn't matter which way she goes. All right, Dino from Horus Order, I believe that's a 40k reference, Warhammer 40k, Horus and Signeris. Unfortunately, your base is a little bit vulnerable. Now, I want my baby dragon to help set the funnel. And Queen goes in to do her job first. Once she has distracted, there's the baby dragon going in there. And get my wall breakers in. And you can see with the wizard and that baby dragon, that storage is gone. Queen now has no choice. She is now running down that flank. All right, and I'd actually hoped she would walk one way and then walk back up the other way, which is quite cool. It would have been quite cool if we saw that, but that's not the way it's going to work out. Baby dragon getting great value here. 10 troop space, a little bit of pink, taking out what, 3-4 structures, set the walk. Yeah, baby dragon, I'm convinced. Again, spending a bit of time just getting the queen walk happening. A bit of patience is required. I've still got some wall breakers up, so I'm going to use those eventually. But you can just pick the path that she's going to take. Here we go. Here's where the stress is. Get that rage on. Get that poison going. Okay, and just be ready for the ability pop. Warden first, then the queen. If you pop the warden first, before the queen disappears, the healers stay locked onto the queen. Now when she goes down for the second time, that's when you pop the queen ability. And look how much damage she's done all by herself pretty much, okay? In with the wall breakers. Jump, jump. And golems, and king, and picker, and bowlers, and the rest. So, in with that. Alright. Bit of rage is required. Certainly going to pick up the percentage here. Those healers have locked on to the rest of the troops, keeping them alive, which is why I'm not fearing that eagle artillery. And I've still got the king ability, which will hulk up. There we go. Down goes the town hall. Down goes the Inferno on single. Didn't actually do anything in the end. Alright. And if I had been a bit more aware, I probably would have kept a few bowlers and witches in reserve to start clearing out the bottom here. But I'm still new to this technique, still practicing. Eagle Artillery ends up doing the damage on the golems and everything else. And all I've got left really are those little skeletons. So, poor skellies, off they go. So again, worth taking the time investing in that queen walk, keeping her alive. Right, the third and final attack demonstrating this technique today was a triple, 3 stars. Fantastic result for me. I was super stoked with this one. Again, traditional ring style base, looking to draw troops away whilst the Eagle Artillery, and this time single Infernos, good, and Expos on ground. Okay, so this person is clearly designed for an anti-ground defense. All right, and these little archer towers in the corner pods, they can be tricky. So this is where you've got to be really good and just watch out. I know I shouldn't have attacked into a sweeper, okay, but I was concerned about the CC. Okay, so this person has thought about the queen walk as well. Down here was an exposed flank, all right, but I really wanted the dark, so you can see how this person has set their base up quite cunningly in order to, yes, I said cunningly, thank you very much, in order to try and protect the dark as much as possible. So I'm going to start with queen. Healers first, don't want the healers to lock onto the warden. All right, and then Baby Dragon. Baby Dragon does enough here, distracts the sweeper, distracts the archer tower, wizard and queen, take that out. Now I had hoped to take these 3 buildings, this trio of buildings here, out in order to set my walk, but the queen ends up doing a good job in taking out those, and then she zigs when I want her to zig, doesn't zag, which is great. And now we start walking along the wall of this particular base. So at some stage I realized I'm going to have to make a breach, but the queen can reach across that far and take out all those buildings, so there was no need to run in. Here come the CC troops, whole bunch of wizards and extras, some archers in there. Okay, so in the end, easy pickings for the poison and the queen, using the rage on purpose for the wall breakers, all right, which was great, and in we go. So now you can see with a little bit of time invested, I have set up that queen walk quite well, got that edge cleared out, all right, and made a breach. So I'm going to get my bowlers and picker and the witches into that. So the queen goes round the corner, jump, jump, in we go. Reason I put the jump on that town hall, by the way, was I really wanted the picker and the king to get in there. Just wanted to make absolutely double sure on that. Here comes the Eagle Artillery, and then once that's down, raging up the bowlers, in they go. And you can see that Inferno here. Where's that picker? It's in there somewhere. No, it ran interference long enough. There it is, just disappeared. Ran interference long enough for the bowlers to get in. Once that core folds up, witches go around the outside. I kept a few in reserve, and queen on one flank, this cleanup force on the other. All right, the ring base just folds up. So the keys are going to be take out an entire edge first. Make sure the bowlers have got no choice but to go one way or the other. If you know Pythagoras, then you're doing pretty good as well with your right angle triangles and your distances. So if you need to just sort of count tiles and do a little bit of hand wavy maths, then away you go. But the witches, in this case, with behind the golem, are going to clean up, and that queen is still strong, still got the ability. All right, which I end up swagging at the end as well. So a fairly comprehensive victory over a fairly strong Town Hall 11 base. Right, that's all I've got time for today. I really do hope you've enjoyed this. I certainly have. I'll be sending you more videos on this technique as they pop up. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, hit like, share, subscribe, make comments, etc. Good to have me back. Good to have you back. All right, Dev out.